Well, guys, we are live on Yonkers Voice, and today our guest is Anderson Fland. You guys remember Anderson? Anderson and I, we worked together a few years ago. Since then, we had a couple issues. He moved away, family grew, but today's here. We're going to talk about what he's been doing, his plans, what happened, the misunderstandings, set the record straight, let you guys know what happened and what went sour. Very often things are not what they appear to be, and very often things go bad because, oh, somebody told me this, somebody told me that, or I heard this, I heard that, somebody told me you said this, and sometimes none of that happened, okay? That's why I always tell people, if somebody tells you that Rule said something, pick up the phone and say, Rule, I'm right here with so-and-so. This is what the person tells me. Did you say so? And very often that person will tell you, no, I don't want to start no problem. I think differently. If I say something, I'm not afraid. I will see it in front of you, behind you, on the side of you, or whatever. So, Anderson, welcome to Yonkers Voice. Welcome to this broadcast. Do your opening.
Thank you. As many know, I'm the founder of Inside Yonkers and the host of the Newly City Talk podcast. A lot of people know me even before Inside Yonkers, as you do, chasing fire trucks and chasing police scenes and putting them on the internet. It was just a hobby I started it. And we have a lot to talk about, man. There's so much bullcrap going on in the city, and it's giving some of us a bad name, and we need to clear the air there.
Well, let's rewind the tape, our lifetime tape, our timeline tape. Look, I met you a few years back. You and I worked together in a few projects. I remember, okay, when you were just starting, I was already doing it for a while. We spoke, you told me that you like to do that. And I supported you in a few ways, gave you a microphone, some equipment and other stuff. But then something happened, Anderson, something happened, okay? Something happened and awful things have been said. And but what hurts me the most, Anderson, or upsets me the most, is that many of those things that have been posted on your page, you know that are not true. But even though you knew were not true, you posted them anyway. I never spoke about you. I never said anything about you. I never comment about you. Nothing. But you were there on and on, the pedo this, the that, the this. Even though you and I had spoken about those things. Right?
We've spoken about it a couple of times, actually, not just once or twice. We spoke about it through the phone. We spoke about it in person. We've spoken about it many times. So, like I told you on the phone conversation the other day, just like Yonkers Voice has a team. It's a team effort. It's not just a one-person thing, because it's a lot of responsibility when we decide to do such things like these pages. So, I have a team. I have a team that, works very closely with me, and I trust them to make several posts without having to seek my approval. Now, we had someone in that had put into the equation that I now regret, that hadn't, we had originally stopped those posts because, it got personal, and that's not really my style and not the Inside Yonkers style. But once those posts were brought to light and to my attention, they were taken down. There was one post, and it was the Prince Robinson post. I feel strong. Like I made a podcast episode the other night. It was in regards to just exactly this. I think if you're running for mayor, you should be able to not just stick to one person. You should open your bubble up and go on every possible podcast or video or interview you can to bring your name out there. But there was you know, as the other party would call it a conflict of interest, I disagree because I didn't see myself or Inside Yonkers as a political group to have such a conflict of interest. So yeah, I did make a comment. I made a post and I said, you know, the interview with Prince Robinson was canceled because he was tied up to his dad. I feel like, you know, at a point he could be a little too tied up to you. I mean, the guy, all he does, and no disrespect to you, um, he all he does is walk around with Yonkers Voice sweater. That, you know, it's whatever, but that's that's what upset me, and that's what led to the post. What happened before it led to that is for a different time.
Well, Anderson, but the stuff,
Before it led to that is for a different time.
yeah, but what started? It started long before. Anderson, but the stuff,
Before it led to that is for a different time.
yeah.
So
Can you hear me okay, Anderson? I'm hearing kind of.
I can hear you.
Okay, so, but Anderson, people want to know what the hell happened, okay? What the hell
So,
happened?
you know, there's people that go around and like to antagonize people. There's people that like to start rumors. We can see that big time right now. And you know, at a point I was, I guess I wouldn't say vulnerable, but I was listening to someone that I shouldn't have listened to, and I made that mistake. And that's why it got to the point that it hasn't gotten to anymore or ever again.
Who is that person? Who?
So no, it's the encouragement of a lot of people around. You know, it's not even a specific person, but let's put out there that there's people that don't like me, there's people that don't like you. So there's gonna be people that go to you, talk lies about me, and there's gonna be people that come to me and speak lies about you, right?
Anderson, even though, you know,
There's gonna be people that come to me and speak lies about you, right?
yes, yes, but you see, but
Anderson,
I think the big difference, you know, is that even though people were saying lies about me or about you, I never said anything about you. I never went on a live. I never posted negativity about you. And I didn't believe what the people were saying. If I had anything to ask, I would ask you directly. I wouldn't take the word of another, especially when you and I worked together and you knew me. If I had anything to ask,
we've worked before, and I know exactly what you're about and what you're not about and all that stuff. But check this out. There's been some times where you do are, you know, out of probably being upset, you have gone back and mentioned some things, you know. So it was just unprofessional on both of our ends, and the fact that we have more chaos being created now, and thankfully it doesn't involve you. Well, it doesn't, not that it doesn't involve you or I, but it's not you and I, because we have a better professional standard. You get what I'm saying? I've never gone and put out the journal news article 1,000 times because I don't care about that.
well,
I did it maybe once when I started Inside Yonkers, and that was it. I've never done it again. And like I said, when those posts were made, yes, posts were made. I'm not denying it, but I already made it clear. Listen, there's people that I thought I could trust, and those people were taken out of the equation, out of my team.
Anderson, I remember one incident that you were involved in, and you were arrested. Okay,
Right.
I believe you were covering a piece on South Broadway.
I went to the shooting. Yeah, there was a shooting on Varg Street, and I had gone up to the parking lot area of the emergency room, which on Bark Street, and I had gone up to the parking lot area of the emergency room. So one of the for the crime scene is back, so I had to set up. And there's this big head honcho sergeant. I don't know if he was feeling himself or what. But he went and said that I crossed the yellow line, didn't give me a break. So they went in and they took me, and it was just, it was all cleared up after that, because it just,
But Anderson,
they went in and they took me, and it was just, it was all cleared up after that, because it just.
but Anderson, but my point, I didn't brought that up to criticize you. What I brought this up, no, what I brought this up for, I don't really know the resolution of that. Okay, but my only point that I was trying to make is, just because you had a legal problem and you were arrested, that does not mean that you were convicted. Okay,
Correct.
Okay, that does not mean, and most people of color are marching out there asking for social justice, asking for a reform in the system. And very often we turn around and we do exactly the things that we are marching against. Okay.
Yeah.
Things that we're marching against. My point was, I don't think you were fair. I don't think the person that you were associated with you was working with you in good faith. I think,
obviously not. It's to why they're not in the equation anymore.
Exactly. I think it took advantage of you, but
full blown 100%.
Okay, but I would like you to articulate that association. What happened? No, you.
Okay, so I know what you want. I know what you want. And I know you want me to bring up the Freddie Vasquez thing. He's gonna watch this, so why not? All right. So Freddie came to me asking me for help to get viewers and followers, whatever. I said, fine, help me with City Talk, and I'll let you post whatever you want to post. Well, I didn't say whatever, but I said you can post if you help me start City Talk. The guy did 2 episodes with me, then Flake said something about my internet connection, whatever. I don't give a shit about that. But the thing is this is why I went not after him, but I called him out on his bullshit. He's very inconsistent and unprofessional. If you commit yourself to something and then you change your mind, which is absolutely full blown 100% okay, you need to be man enough to go and tell him, hey, I kind of changed my mind. I don't agree with certain things, or I don't like what's going on. Anybody would take that, right? So he kind of just disappeared, and he wanted to, bring all this political stuff into the page, and I was restricting some of it. And the fact that we had a conversation about him purchasing Inside Yonkers, because quite frankly, I have my own business at home. I'm a father. We don't get paid to do this, man. You know that. So it takes a lot of commitment and responsibility. My family comes first. So I gave him the opportunity to see how serious he was, and he wasn't. So I said, okay, by a certain time of that day, I took him off of all of Inside Yonkers stuff, and that was it. I called him inconsistent and unprofessional, and then I posted his lawsuit from Zahi Harris. So see, I am not on the computer 24/7. So it's not always me posting things on the Inside Yonkers pages, right? So he felt very offended that his lawsuit was posted and no one else's, like the Cater, Spano, and the Rubo lawsuits were not posted. If I've had my hands on those, I would have posted them. And then at that, this, how many people message us weekly to take stuff down?
Yeah.
Many times, right? Why
Correct.
couldn't he have just went and asked me to take it down? I would have taken it down. I don't get paid to post. I wouldn't. I would. You know that. You know that of me. I would have taken it down respectfully. We've posted mugshots of people, and the people in the mugshots have messaged me to take it down. I take it down. I don't care. Whatever. So that's what created all of that. So everything that's happening to the guy, it's been asked for. Because that's another topic I wanted to talk about. Was this he needs to separate himself from you, me, Delphine. I don't count Brian because I don't really know Brian's agenda. So me, you, and Delphine are the only from you, me, Delphine. I don't count Brian because I don't really know Brian's agenda. So me, you, and Delphine are the only.
Anderson, I think I lost you.
What else are you gonna be able to talk about, right? Where'd you lose me at?
No, you on now. You back on. Anderson, I think
So
lost you.
so like what I'm saying is these people are being attacked by this guy because of personal things. Not a lot of people know that. But I'm not worried about Freddie anymore. I never was worried about Freddie. My biggest thing about this is this is how I was raised. When I make a commitment, I stick to it. If I don't agree with it or no longer want to be part of it, I go. And just like he went and asked me to let him post on my page, he would have been like, hey, I'm sorry, man. I kind of changed my mind. I can't do city talk with you. That's fine. That's completely fine. But that's not what was done. Immediately, I got an email. So I check my emails every morning, right? This day, I didn't check my email once. He emailed me at like 9 in the morning. I checked my email at like 6 in the afternoon. I had gone out with family, did at the mall. We're just having a family day, right? Got home and I saw the email. I'm not gonna lie to you. I got really upset because who the hell is this guy? Right? I don't know this guy. I've had conversations with him over the phone and the internet, and he's over here threatening me. He went on the other day talking about how he has therapist friends that he was recommending. He was trying to see if I needed a therapist to come over and see if I was okay. It's fucking bullshit.
You know, Anderson,
Okay, but I want to
have
remind him, Florida is a stand your ground state. He needed a therapist to come over. And Lake Okeechobee, by the way, Lake Okeechobee is on the other side of Florida. So his threats, his pathetic threats and email are completely irrelevant. It didn't faze me at all. I just put them out there so people can see what's really going on, the intimidation. Well, the attempted intimidation.
So you felt that he actually intimidated you because, look, I saw the initial text or the emails where it says that he had friends in Florida that could pay you a visit. Then he corrected that by saying that, oh no, he meant that he had therapists, friends that could pay you a visit. Did you ever ask him for any type of help in the psychological?
So I have never asked him for psychological help. Maybe my wife thinks I need psychological help here and there when she doesn't agree with something.
My wife feels the same.
I think I'm okay here. Just because I don't agree with something doesn't mean that I have psychological issues. But hey, everyone's entitled to their opinion. But the thing that gets me is he went on a video right after that, admitting to it. And then a week later, because somebody put in his comments, oh, I have therapist friends and I wanted to have one of them come check you out. Give me a break, guy. I'm fucking 30 years old. I know what's up. I'm from Yonkers. We're from the hood. When someone says shit like that, we know what it is. Come on.
We know the meaning.
Exactly. And it's what really it's I laugh at it because I think it's a joke, but I think it's also sad because if you're representing yourself to be the voice of the people, you shouldn't do what you're doing, retaliating like that, sending emails like that. You can talk all the shit you want. Last night was a prime example. You called the city council president a black puppet. That's the most the most disrespectful thing you can possibly do. That's not what we do at Inside Yonkers. And I know that's not what Yonkers Voice does. And I know Yonkers News Insider doesn't do that. So the man has a different agenda. We have our own different agenda that we have been successfully for you longer than I have been, but I'm getting there. But you get what I'm trying to say? We have our own different agenda that we have been successfully for you longer
Yeah, well, no, I hear you, but not everyone it's operates with the same principles as we do. Look,
unfortunately.
we saw, can you hear me, Anderson?
Yes, I can.
Okay, not long ago, we posted a video of an incident that happened at his daycare, not, well, about a year and a half ago. It was in January 2021. He comes back, well, that's an old stuff. I didn't got convicted. Guess what? Isn't 30 years longer than 2 years?
Absolutely.
But he keeps talking about me every single day. I even wonder, when he gets intimate with his wife, does he think about me?
Well, I mean, I don't know that much, but I know
when he gets intimate with his wife, does he think about me?
Well, I mean, I don't know that much, but I know don't cross, and there's an attack to his wife. I personally don't think the video is an attack to his wife, but I do believe that he's upset. He's upset because the video surfaced and now he has to make some bullshit as excuse for it. But like I said, you can't sign up for a party and then when people get down to your level, you start acting that way. You know what I'm saying? Because I posted the lawsuit. Why did he have to go and threaten me? Right? You know what I'm saying?
And it's not
Is
like
he gonna go do it? Because
and it's not like that lawsuit was not going to be posted.
exactly, it's public record. It didn't have his address in there. You don't understand how many people I asked for their opinion. That I know they got annoyed. I was like, look at all the 9 pages of this document. Look at all 9 fucking pages. None of it had the address.
No, actually, I read the PDF, and I think that the address was there, Anderson. But I read the PDF, and I think that so. But Anderson, is he really having an effect here in the city? Look, I am a little bit like you in the sense of what I like to do. And politics is not my cup of tea. I don't like politics. I actually dislike politics very much so. Okay. I like to chase the ambulance. I like to chase the fire trucks. I like to film what's going on North Broadway, South Broadway, Elm Street, things that happen on the street. That's what I like. So now my question is, what is he looking for? Okay. If he's so concerned with the children, as he claims to be, guess what? Yonkers is full of sexual predators. Number one, registered, who lives around Yonkers and around schools. He has never said anything about those guys.
Right. I mean, so see, like that's why I said there's an agenda. There's only people that are only being brought up are the people that that have disagreements. You get what I'm saying? That's why I keep saying, just because you disagree with someone, you don't have to act a certain type. You get what I'm saying? So, for instance, the whole black puppet incident, you don't call a person a black puppet. You don't call people cokeheads or whatever it is that this man is calling these people, because I don't really have enough time to even be worried about him, what he's doing. But I know that word gets around, word gets to me all the time. And I know to you because we're the ones that are really out there delivering the news. So I everyone that I've this is my opinion, and my opinion does not reflect the views of Inside Yonkers nor City Talk or anything else that I'm affiliated with. But I personally believe that everyone that's brought up is based on an agenda and a disagreement has occurred in the past. Or anything else that I'm affiliated. Does that make sense to you?
It does, and I agree with you. He has a problem with anyone with whom he has a challenge with. Okay, look, I'm not here to be a competition to him. I couldn't care less about what Freddie does in regards to his page. I always said, and I think I even said that to you, and I have said to others, Facebook is big enough for all of us to exist. You know, we have an audience that we might, we might please this group of people, we might please that group of people, we might please both groups of people. I have people on my group that belongs to my group, your group, his group, and I'm sure that you have people on your group that belongs to my group and his group. There is room for all of us to exist, but somehow,
absolutely.
Okay, somehow the man is not self-confident, okay, to let his work speak for itself. You know, I've been doing this for 17 years. Okay, I've been doing this for 17 years. I met you maybe about 7 years ago. I'm not sure.
About 8 years.
Okay, I met you about 8 years ago. I was already doing it for a while, and my page grew without me bashing, harassing, intimidating, extorting anyone. Yeah, or talking about extortion, you know, someone posted yesterday that I extorted money from him. Let me make it clear. I make a living out of this. So people buy ads from me. I post those political ads on YonkersVoice.com. All those political individuals that are running, some are in position, some won, some lost, they bought an ad from me. So that's how I make a living. No extortion, okay? If you don't want to buy, you don't buy. And I think when you and I worked together, there was the same format.
It was. And, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. And I got accused of trying to extort money from the guy too. He said that I was bringing up the lawsuit and that I was being probably paid by the Spanos, and I was trying to extort money from him. I laughed. I thought the guy was it's fucking nuts. Like, how do you orchestrate this shit? My mom used to always say, when you lie so damn much, you start believing your own lies, and then the people that surround themselves around you 24/7 start feeding off of those lies and believing that too. So, you know, he's in his own world. I don't care about the guy. I just want to save the name of the news guys that actually respectfully do what we do. We do it respectfully. We don't talk about anybody in a disrespectful manner. I've talked about a lot of people, but I've not once spoke about their personal lives, what they do off the clock, or call their mom's names or their wife's names or any of that stuff. You know, that's probably his narrative. That's probably his style, and that's cool. Keep that shit over there, though.
You know, you're right. You know, we have a different style of doing things. Look, my audience might enjoy my format. Your audience might enjoy your format. His audience might enjoy his format. Now he's saying that Ru Ross is talking about me. Ru Ross did not say a word about that man for about 18 months. He says things about me multiple times a day, until came a point that I had to say something, and I didn't lie. Okay, I didn't lie. I put the video out, and the video is a statement of facts. The man asked for a gun. The woman is on the ground. The woman poses no longer a threat. I don't know what happened before, but I know that at the moment that he says, get me the gun, that woman was not a threat to him. Okay,
I 100% agree with you. And then at that, if you already have her held down, why do you need a gun? Even if it's for a scare tactic, he did say he was a gun owner right after that. I mean, it doesn't. That's what I'm saying. If you're gonna pick your battles, pick them carefully, because everything comes out, especially at the rate that you go and how hard you go. It's gonna come right back, probably even much harder. And that's what's happening. It's a game you signed up for. Now you have to deal with it. Keep everybody out. Everyone that doesn't give a shit, because I know you don't give a shit about the guy. I don't give a shit about the guy. Delphine doesn't give a shit about the guy. I don't know about Brian. Him and Brian probably have something. I don't know. I don't care. But listen, the point is he signed up for this, and now he's getting, look at the lawsuit. He's probably being sued by other people. I don't know if that's true or not.
There is more coming. There is more coming. But you know, Anderson, he says that was a scary tactic. Okay, let's take for the sake of an argument that it was. How do you want to scare the person to leave if you are holding the person down?
So I'm a registered gun owner in the state of Florida, right? I have 3 guns. Listen to this. I've been in predicaments where I have all rights to use my firearm, but I haven't. There's been times where I've been in predicament where I probably could have been oofed off before I would have been able to do something, right? So my point is, if I already have control of a situation and I'm on top of somebody, I don't need I know I have a gun. Why do I need to get a gun? You know, call the cops. Forget about, what are you gonna was there kids in that daycare? Rumor is there wasn't. There was.
There were 2 kids. He texted me. There were 2 kids, and they were his kids.
So whether, I don't want to talk about his kids, but I'm talking about his actions. This is a comment on his actions. I have 4 kids, right? I don't want to use my guns around my kids, whatever kind of situation I'm in, right? But I'm talking about his actions because that's traumatizing. That's traumatizing. That's a traumatizing scenario. And I can imagine it was probably traumatizing to his wife, or I don't know, probably him, if it was or whatever. But for him to call out for a gun is very, very
disturbing
to me. It's disturbing. And then what if there was? So see, when you're in a situation like that, you can't think straight, right? Your heart's racing, your adrenaline's rushing. So imagine if there was kids in there and he had been asking for a gun, because you can't say, oh, that won't be me if it happens again. You don't have control over your adrenaline rush or what's going on at that moment. So how do you know you're not gonna ask for a gun again when the place could be full and there's.
Yeah. And Anderson, you saw the face of his wife, the panic that she had on her face, how afraid she was.
He said that she was being attacked, and that's why he was
attacked by whom? By the person. Attacked by the person who was down.
Okay, let me get to. So the person is down. He said that the person with the phone was trying to attack. Looks like they were just recording. And his wife, there's no lie that, yeah, maybe she's traumatized, she was scared, but do we really know what she was scared of? You know, when people are with each other for so long, they become like this. Yeah. So if you understand, like, that could be all of an act, or it can't be an act. I'm not an actor to tell you if that was an act or not. But it's really hard to know what exactly she was scared of, because there's 3 different stories given out. She was holding one of the attackers was holding the phone. If that person was still trying to attack, why are you calling for a gun, right? And then at that, his wife seemed like there was no one around her. She was running around, so she wasn't in the process of being attacked, and he was still calling for a gun. So I don't know. I really don't care to know either, but I'm just answering your question as to, you know, I watched the video. I won't lie, I was anticipating to watch the video because a lot of people were talking about it. And once I saw it, it's really hard to tell it'd be really nice to know the whole story, you know, because he could say anything. His family members, if that's what they are, can say anything. You get what I'm saying? But what got to me is when, and I feel bad for this young lady. Mike Breen's daughter was the responding officer, and that was like a complete setup for that poor lady, because why is Mike Breen now being attacked by Freddie, who signed the report? Get what I'm saying?
Mhm. So I'm just getting here a text from Steve Squid, and Steve Squid is saying he just posted my address 2 days ago. He posted John Rubo's grandfather and grandmother's address a couple months ago. He went
Really?
to Zehi's job to arrest Zehi. He went to Zehi's wife's job to arrest the wife. He went to Tasha Diaz to arrest her. He keeps talking about that he's buying guns and he has guns stashed somewhere. He keeps saying, check under my coat. What all those statements actually mean? Okay, do we need a bigger red flag to say that this guy might explode sooner or later?
I mean, you know, Hector's a very good friend of mine, but you saw what happened with him and Hector.
Why do you think that happened?
Well, we already know, like I said, Hector is a really good friend of mine, so this isn't about him. But when you have to defend the people you're loyal to, right? And I believe that's what Hector is doing. The outcome of who whooped whose ass, I don't really care about that, because it shouldn't have happened in the first place. But if you're going around representing yourself as the voice of the people, you can carry yourself a lot more professional than that. And to be putting anyone's address out there is beyond me. It's beyond me. I mean, the guy thinks there's a van outside of his house and it's an FBI surveillance van.
What did you say?
He posted a picture of a van, an Econoline van, a white Econoline van outside his neighborhood. And he took a picture of it saying it's a surveillance van. Why is he so paranoid? If you feel like you're doing right for the people, you should walk tall, proud, right? Not worried about if you're not doing anything wrong, why is the Fed surveilling you?
Well, the other day I got a text from him that I can show, and he told me, you know, Ross, there is a reason why lots of people hate you. I said, yeah, that's true. You know, there is lots of people that don't like me, but there is lots of people that don't like you either. And guess what? Many of those people are your own family that don't like you. But I said,
I don't. That's one of the things that was astonishing, because every person has one or two family members you don't get along with. Right? It's completely normal. It's like where you work, you go. There's gonna always be that one or two people that you don't agree with or disagree with, and don't get along with. But for you to go about it the way that he's going about it,
Anderson,
in return, is not okay.
That's exactly my point. I said, yes, there is people that don't like me, but there is people that like me. There is people that don't like you, and there are many out there, and there are people that like you. But as a matter of fact, you don't see me posting an ad saying that I need an armed bodyguard. I guess
for $5,000.
But I told him, if you want to know who sent me the stuff, I'll tell you. You know,
but the one that's sending the threatening emails is the one requesting a bodyguard.
But you're right. He lives in this world. Yeah, exactly. Isn't it crazy? You know, but so the other day I got an email text, and Freddie, you can record this. An email from somebody saying, you know, Ru, that red Lamborghini that he drives around claiming to be his, it's actually a rented Lamborghini. He loves to give an impression of something that does not exist. Okay.
It's funny. I've heard some stories about the whole Lamborghini stuff, and I won't speak on it because I don't know the truth behind it. But it's funny. I just think it's bullshit.
Yeah, but you know, all bullshit aside, Anderson, I told Freddie once, I said, listen, certain things that you say, you have a point. Some of the issues that you address are very valid, but
that's not the problem. It's the way he's delivering it and going about it.
Exactly. I said the problem is not the issues that you are bringing to the attention of people, is the way that you deliver that message. Exactly. I said the problem.
Exactly. That's the problem, and that's what I want everyone to understand. It's not what he's saying. Well, not what he's saying, but he's proving some things are factual that do need to be, put out there, raise awareness on. But to be calling people's names and the craziness, calling people black puppets and all that, it's just beyond disrespectful and beyond me, because it's not how we should carry ourselves.
Yeah, was about, I think, a week or two ago, I'm not sure on the date, that he actually called a lady that works in the city hall. I think is Mayor Mike Spano's assistant. I'm not going to mention her name because I don't want to victimize her again, but he called her a whore. What was the need? What is the point, of talking to people that way? What is the objective? Why not?
When I see him call people that, the first thing is how are you gonna get people to want to talk to you?
What is the objective? Why not?
Get what I'm saying? How are you gonna expect people want to talk to you when you disrespect them, when you disrespect their coworkers, their loved ones? How you expect people to want to speak to you, answer your questions when you're disrespecting everyone else around them? It doesn't work that way. You know how many people didn't want to go on City Talk because of Freddie? Well, I'm not going on City Talk because you're doing it with Freddie.
Well, that's
why I said, why don't you just freaking tell me that you don't want to be part of it? I really wasn't losing out. I'm not going on City Talk because.
Well, Anderson, going back to the Prince did not go on your show precisely because we were under the impression that Freddie was associated with you. And anyone
I had made that clear to everyone already.
You see,
yeah, because I was supposed to make an announcement that I was leaving the Inside Yonkers platform.
Well, you made the announcement.
I made the announcement that I wasn't, and then during that.
No, Anderson, you made the announcement that you were leaving. You even gave a date that that you would be leaving. Then 2 days later, you came back. So people were a little confusing. Is this a tactic that they are using? Is he still with Anderson? Are they playing to get views? So what is it? And let me tell you, look, today, Freddie put a post out saying that he's going to own Yonkers Voice. Okay, own Yonkers Voice, but I sell it for very high. But if you make an offer I can refuse, then I might consider, okay? So, but he made that post that he was going to own Yonkers Voice. And then he said to Ron Methan that don't worry, when I own Yonkers Voice, anyone can come and sit down with me for free. So guess what? Some people pay to come on Yonkers Voice, depending on what is it, on what it is. Okay, campaigns are never charged. If somebody wants to run an ad, then there is a price. But he offered for free and nobody sat down with him. I am charging, and I have no lack of people to sit down with me. What does that tell you?
It goes down to, like I said, how do you disrespect people and expect people around them to want to speak to you?
What does that tell you?
I treat everybody with respect. Everyone has come on to my podcast and before my podcast. That's why the people that have come on to my podcast have come on to my podcast, because I've always treated them with respect. You don't always have to agree with people, but you need to always treat people with respect, especially if you're representing yourself as such or as the so-called voice of the people. But you need to always treat people with respect, especially if you're representing yourself as such or as the so-called voice of the people.
You know, and you're right. You know, respect is extremely important. And I think it seems like it's something that it does not understand. And look at the example that you are involved in. You were working with him for a while, and as soon as things went sour, it turned on you like a vicious animal.
Right.
And these other people that he might want to bring to his show might be feeling the same thing. You know, I might go there and sit, and somehow he might turn on me and I become the victim. Look at the post from the other day about him throwing Vinny Spano under the bus. Okay. I don't know about the involvement between Vinny Spano and him. I have no idea, but he clearly said in public that Vinny was the one that sent him the information about Tasha Diaz. So look, if I give you some information on a confidential in a confidential form, is not for you to make use of it. Yes, you might throw me under the bus, you might hurt me, but what you are actually doing, you are telling the whole audience, look, I'm doing this to him now. I could be doing the same thing to you tomorrow if you do something that I don't like and I have something on you.
Cause and effect.
I'm doing this to him now. I could be doing the same thing to you tomorrow.
It's all cause and effect.
Yep, but he doesn't understand.
He doesn't. And it's, you know, the reason, like I said, you asked me to be on here today. Actually, Monday, then we had to, you know, but to the point, I wanted to bring up, you know, like, this isn't how we carry ourselves. We're a lot more professional, a lot more better than this. We all are the voice of the people of Yonkers, not just one guy, not just you, not just me, not just Brian or Delphin. We are all the voice of the people, and we should act accordingly. For example, a lot of people are talking about our city council members being unprofessional last night. We are those voices too. So we need to act accordingly, act professional, and respect one another, because you're the creator of Yonkers Voice. I'm the creator of Inside Yonkers. We want our names to have a name, right? When people go and, hey, this person from Yonkers Voice or Inside Yonkers wants to speak to you, yeah, okay, that's fine. Oh no, this guy that talks shit about everyone wants to speak to you. No, I'm good. Forget about it. You get what I'm saying? So in the long run, it's for your own good.
You are exactly right. You know, we have to conduct in a certain way. And look, we live in a different era, Anderson. Nowadays, people get news. They know what's going on in their own cities, their own communities through social platform like us. You know, we are a very powerful identity in the community that we live in. People come to us on daily basis to know what's going on. Nevertheless, each one of us has a different style on the content that we put out. We have a different way of delivering the message. We have a different way of showing what's going on. Some are more politically inclined, which I am not. Okay, I am not politically inclined. I don't like politics. I do the street. Okay, but if we could all work together, this would be such a powerful tool. But it looks like some of us don't understand that the people on top has no interest in keeping us together. They prefer to keep us divided. They prefer to keep us fighting against each other because they know if we sit together and he said we're going to work for a common goal, which is to give news to the people of Yonkers, the narrative would change.
Absolutely.
But some people don't understand that simple principle, okay? And they keep talking about shit that no longer matters. Okay, look, I'm still here, 17 years. Whatever Fred is saying about me, it's nothing new. Brian Harrod said the same things. I'm still here. Okay?
So exactly. So that's why. So, and also that's personal stuff. Like if you see, it makes you look wrong when because before why you weren't talking bad about Yonkers Voice, and now that you didn't agree with something that Yonkers Voice did, now you want to put his address out. Now you want to do all this. It looks bad on you as a person. And now that doing that, yes, like you and I both said already, he brings up some valid points, some valid information. Great, whatever, good for him. Keep it to that side. But the way he's going about it, the way he's doing it, people calling people names and disrespecting people is not the way to go about it. The beef you and him have, that's something that should not even be on the internet. For the simple point that it's not necessary. We're at a term where we are dealing with term limits, we're dealing with inflation, we're dealing with a whole bunch of shit. And we have a guy posting all this unnecessary personal beef issues on social media. I know what you did and I get what you did, but it's not compared to what other people have done, which is a lot worse.
Well, you know, Anderson,
I know what you did.
I keep saying, and I don't know if this is coming across well, I don't have a personal beef with him. As a matter of fact, for 18 months, I didn't say nothing about him, and he keeps attacking me. Every single podcast that he does, I am in his mouth. Every single time, multiple times a day, Rue Ross, you know. I don't say much until a few days ago. Okay, but he could not expect that I'm going to stay quiet forever. And if he continues to talk about me and I get more stuff about him, I will put it out. But I don't want to focus on him because as far as I'm concerned, Freddie is really not that important to me. I couldn't care less about Freddie. I'm staying focused on the stuff that I do. I prefer to put my energy on the things that I've been doing for the 17 years. Some people like it, some people don't. I go after the fires, after the police chases, after this. That's what I like. Politics, it's something that I can leave it for whoever likes it. Yeah, occasionally.
Politics is a headache, honestly.
Yeah. You know.
But honestly,
anyway,
I wish that to end. I wish all would end. I just wish, you know, that I wish the best for the guy. I have nothing against him. But when you do something that I feel uncomfortable with, you will always be called out.
Well,
that's just one thing I want to establish. Oh, no, he might not be watching. He is watching. I mean, it's you and I on the podcast. What do you think? He's gonna want to watch that. He's probably dropped everything he's been doing all day to watch this.
Yeah, and maybe later tonight, you and I are going to be the talk of the show. Like I care. Okay, all I want is, listen, dude, focus on things that matter. I am not an elected official. I don't seek to be an elected official. I don't care about being an elected official. I don't care about politics. I have no interest in politics. Okay, if a Republican calls me for a sit down and he wants to come on my show, I sit down. If President Biden invites me, which I doubt it, but if he did, I would go. If the governor invites me, I would go. If Trump invites me, I would definitely go. Okay, I look for content that might be of interest to my followers. Okay, and Freddie Vasquez is not it. Freddie Vasco is not
Right.
on my aim. I don't care. I don't care to follow him. Those that care and like it, hey, more power.
I'll
to
be
you.
honest with you. I'll be honest. I'm very big on my insights. Not many people know what insights are, and it's a dashboard that Facebook provides you with. When you run pages in groups, it tells you your amount of followers, the age group, the countries, cities, all that stuff.
Gender.
Right? So I drastically lost a lot of people when Freddie was put onto my platform. As to another reason why I didn't have a problem dismissing Freddie off of my platforms after the disagreement we had on the purchase. So that's a prime example as to why you should carry yourself professionally in any possible way that the people expect you to. Get what I'm saying? I never seen such a decrease in engagement on my. The people expect you to.
Well, Anderson, we've been talking for almost an hour, okay, and we have to conclude this sooner or later.
And I've my team I've worked important. It's a very important thing for me.
Yeah, but before we concluded, I want you to make that announcement that you are going to. You are thinking about coming back.
Right, so
go ahead. But before we concluded,
no, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead, speak.
No, I'm saying before we finish this interview, I want you to make that announcement that you are thinking about running for a. Yeah, that you are thinking about running for council here in the city.
I don't. Sorry. So this is a very, 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 very thorough process that I have to, think. I have to plan it out very accordingly, because you can't just get up and say that you're going to be running for anything. It takes petitions, it takes affidavits, it takes a lot of time, money, effort to even be able to say that you're running for something. But I'm in high hopes and highly considering a run for the District 3 City Council seat for the city of Yonkers. I'm not making that official, but it is a very, very big thing that I've been looking into doing. I don't think that the 3rd district is being represented right. So I do believe that I would be, if I run, a good asset to the 3rd district. I don't think.
Well, keep us posted, okay? When you make up your mind and you make a decision, we know that right now you're just considering it, but your mind has not been made up yet. So when you do make up your mind, please let us know. And we always interview all the serious candidates, and we would love to interview you on that subject alone, about what can you bring to the plate, what can you bring to the city, how can you help the people of your district having a better district where they are represented, in a better way according to you. What can you bring to the city?
Absolutely, I appreciate that.
Okay, so now we conclude our interview. Anderson, thank you for taking the time. I hope that you and I can now have a communication channel that it's open both ways. If you have any questions, if somebody tells you anything that Ruro said this, Ruro said that, don't hesitate to call me. And if that person tells you, oh, no, I prefer you if you don't mention my name, then he's bullshitting. Because if he's telling you the truth, then you wouldn't have a problem facing the truth and the person that is talking bad about it.
All right. And thank you for the opportunity of being on here. Considering me to be on here. And I just want everybody to remember, this is not, what's going on out there is not who we are. We represent ourselves way better than that.
Thank you, and until next time.
Thank you, man.